Hello, my name is Johanna Anderson, and my presentation today is going to be about the Individual Education Plan, or the IEP. So, what is an IEP? An IEP is an individual education plan for students who have a special disability under the Individual Disability Education Act, or IDEA. If they are diagnosed with a disability that falls under that umbrella and they receive services for said disability, then they must have an IEP. An IEP is created for the students to be successful in school no matter the disability. An IEP protects students, their family, and school staff under a legal umbrella with IDEA, and this also gives students rights. So, getting the IEP started. Before an IEP can be written, the student must be evaluated and then identified as having a disability under the Individual Disability Education Act. Eligibility of the disability must be determined and approved. Once that happens, the student can begin to receive special education services for what they may need. An IEP meeting will then be scheduled and held, and a team will begin to write the IEP. Now, who is a part of the IEP team? Well, for the most part, for the most important part, parents and the student are a part of this team. Parents can only give written consent for what happens with their child, and they must be willing. And you also want to note that the child is pretty important just because they're the ones who's going to be receiving the service. So they're one of the most important parts of the team. And then you have general and special education teachers that the student will have some of the most contact with. You have the person in charge for analyzing or interpreting the results of the evaluation, a school representative who knows and specializes in special education services, and there will come a time where it's time for the students to transition to a different phase of life. So you will want someone from a transition agency who will be on the team to assist with that part. So what is included in the IEP? Or what are the contents of the IEP? The main contents that go in an IEP is the current level that the student is already performing at. You have annual goals, which is one of the main purposes of the IEPs, the progress that the child will make under the plan, special education and related services such as modifications or accommodations, and rather if the student will participate with children who do not have a disability. IEP can also include statewide and district testing assessments and dates and locations stating where and when the services will start and end. So this is a sample IEP. This IEP shows the student's name and personal information. It also showcases the IEP team, so who's a part of the team when it comes to writing the IEP. On this slide, we also have the present level or the current level that the student is already performing at, and we have their annual goals. Some IEPs have more than 2 goals, some only have 1. It depends on the need and what type of disability the student has and what services they need. Here it also shows the progress reporting, so how the student's progress will be measured and looked upon while they're going through their IEP. We have the date, location of where the student will be getting the services. So this starts September 15, 2019 and ends on June 1st, 2020. And this will happen in the school and at home. We have the participation, whether the student will or will not communicate with students that do not have a disability, and we have the parents' consent. And this is pretty much the main basis and concept of an IEP and what goes into it and who all helps create it. Thank you very much.